So welcome. So last week we created this Snowsite account, the Snowflake trial account, and today we'll start with Snowflake editions and pricing models. So we have to understand how this editions and pricing models will work in Snowflake, so that so whenever we are going to work in the Snowsite, then you will get complete idea. So while creating the account, let me go to this Snowflake account here. So while creating the account, we have seen sign up dot Snowflake. Just I'll go here. So even if you are seeing that 30 days, it is creating with 120 days. So that's fine. So when we are going with this particular site, say we fill all the details here. So first name, last name, work email, and everything. Just I will fill the details. So here, and then if I put the work email, just I'll put like this. I'll go to the next page, and just I'll go here. I'll go to the continue. So if you see this particular page, Snowflake is asking us to choose the Snowflake editions, right? So we have how many editions here we have? So here it is showing that 3 different editions. So what are those 3 different editions? So we have standard, enterprise, and business critical. In addition to that, we have one more edition. So what is that edition? It's a VPS edition. So what is VPS? It's a virtual private Snowflake. So standard, so normally we'll go for very less data. If you are handling it, then we can go for standard. The companies, yes, the companies mostly they'll go for enterprise model, this one. So with the enterprise, you can see here enterprise, whatever the standard features we have, in addition to that, we have 90 days time travel. So for example, today is 10th November. For particular table, I want to go for before 10 days, what was there in that particular table. If we update something, then updated data only we will have it, right? Or we will maintain some history. Okay, so previous history will maintain on the same table. We will have some flagging, okay, active and inactive, all this. But in Snowflake, we have 90 days time travel. If something goes wrong, so we can go to that 90 days, up to 90 days we can enable. Okay, so but enabling it's our hand, so we can enable it. And how to enable those things, we will see later, time travel. But we have up to 90 days time travel. We are at, for example, we are at March 31st. So we can go up to January 1st. Some data we need more than 90 days. Example, like, so we are at March 31st here. So we are at March 31st, but some data we have here up to, so what, up to which date we can go for? 90 days, Jan 1 or Jan 2. We can go up to 90 days from here. So 90 days means on this particular instance, okay, Jan 1, what was there on the same table? Okay, so if I have something on the table, if I'm going to update, insert something on that, and what was there on Jan 1st, I can go here. So this is called time travel. Okay, even if I have undropped the table, I can undrop it, undrop up to 90 days. So if still we are in time period, okay, 90 days, then we can undrop it. So we can get the data. But still, this is called a time travel. Okay, so time travel maximum how many days we can go for? We can go for 90 days. Okay, so default is 1 day. 90 days we can go ahead. So, but we will see that in detail in our day session on this time travel. Okay, so 90 days we can go to the time travel from here to here. For example, here you have some data December 30th. So this particular data you have to retrieve it. Okay, December 30th, but we are at March 31st. So can we get this particular data? No, we have passed this particular date, right? So we couldn't get this particular data on this December 30th by using time travel feature. And then, so how can we get it? So still we can go ahead with the 7 days. Okay, 7 days we can go ahead and then get. So this one is called fail safe. Okay, so how many days we can go with? 7 days. 7 days, but here, so this is in our control, but this fail safe is not in our control. Okay, this fail safe is not in our control. Then who can support? Snowflake support team. Snowflake team. not our support team. Snowflake support. Snowflake support team, they can help, not our company admin team. The company Snowflake support team, they can help. So totally 97 days we can go. So beyond that, we cannot go. Okay, so this is what we are the time travel and fail safe. So fail safe, yes, we have some fail safe also, some options are available. We will see later. So 90 days time travel and multi-cluster warehouse. So we have seen by default how many cluster it will create? One cluster, single cluster warehouse. But I'm going to run a multiple queries in parallel. Then I can create multi-cluster warehouse. It means parallelism. Okay, I'm going to run simultaneously multiple queries. Yes, definitely in our real-time project, we will run multiple queries, right? So we will have in real-time project, yes, we will have multi-cluster warehouse and materialized views. So normal views is nothing but it's a virtual table, but materialized views will create a physical table copy, right? So that's what we'll go for, materialized views and everything. So that in addition to that, we have some features, we'll see that as well. So this is enterprise. Business critical, we have the enhanced security, so we'll have more security on this data protection and failover, fallback, everything. And still some government project and everything, right? So they need, for example, US government, Canadian government, or any other government, Indian government, they are looking for, okay, so more secured data, okay? Like we have ISRO, similarly NASA, these projects, right? They need more security. Then they'll go for, if they need to store the data, they can go for VPS. Okay, so virtual private Snowflake account also. So, and then we have the cloud providers, right? So based on the cloud providers, how many providers are there on top of Snowflake? On top of these providers, we can create either Azure or AWS or GCP, right? So on what basis we will choose? So normally the company will go for POC. POC means proof of concept initially. So they will choose, okay, one particular edition for Azure, one particular edition for AWS. It's based on the nearest location they will choose. So they will choose the compute, and so we have three different layers, right? So what are the different layers? We have storage, compute, and cloud services. So that's what we have seen. So three different layers. So here, based on that, storage and compute, if it is there on the same regions, right? Same regions. If I'm choosing Canada Central, then if storage and this compute everything on the same regions, then cost will be less. So that's why they will choose the particular. For example, we are in India, but we are choosing US regions as these Snowflake. Yes, we can take, but we will feel that latency, the data latency. How the latency means data transfer. So because over the network it has to transfer, right? So that's why we will feel that. So based on that, the cost will vary. So that's what we are going to see that. So how many different editions are available in Snowflake? There are 4 different editions are available. So what are 4 different editions? So here we have standard edition. First one is standard edition. Second one is enterprise edition. Third one is business critical and virtual private Snowflake, VPS. Okay. So normally which edition the company will choose? Enterprise edition. Snowflake offers multiple editions to choose from, ensuring that your usage fits your organization specific requirement. Okay, so based on the requirement, so we can choose. Okay, so first I have chosen enterprise edition or standard edition. Can I move to enterprise edition? Yes, I can move. So later point of time I can move. As your organization the needs change and grow, changing the edition is easy. So we can change. So anyhow, it's within that Snowflake, right? So we have to pay for that extra money. Then we can choose that from standard to edition, enterprise to business critical, and this one. But we created account in AWS. Okay, we created an account in AWS. Can I later point of time, can I migrate to Azure? Yes, it's called data migration. So that needs some time and as well as money. So because everything we have to migrate, it's not easy that, okay, we can upgrade it. So we have to migrate it. So that needs time and money. So there are 4 different editions we have, right? So what are those? We have standard edition, enterprise, business critical, and VPS. So definitely we will get certification question on this. So we'll get, okay, so please remember all those. So what is this standard edition? It's nothing but introductory level of editions, and then additional features for large scale enterprise. Then enterprise editions we have, business critical we have. So higher data protection for extremely sensitive data. And then this is highest level of security. We'll go for this VPS. Okay, so what will be there in standard editions, right? So yes, complete data warehouse. So that we will have normally we'll have data warehouse and virtual warehouse, customer dedicated virtual warehouse. So I can create virtual warehouse. So that is the users can create virtual warehouse here. Yes, right. So complete data warehouse. Inside the warehouse, we have the virtual warehouse. That is a virtual warehouse for computing. Then after that, so we have the free data sharing across regions. Okay, so we want to across regions means we have, okay, so we have not across regions, like only within the regions we can share the data. So if I selected Canada Central, yes, I can do share, okay, data share across regions. So that is free. So automatic data encryption, yes. So please remember, Snowflake will automatically encrypt the data. Okay, so encrypt the data and automatically it will compress it by using micro partition. It will store the data as a file inside either it's Azure or AWS or GCP by using micro partitioned files. Okay, small files it will store. And we can get the 24/7 support. So from Snowflake. It means, okay, something wrong, then I can create a vendor ticket, right? Normally, we will create, right? If it is Azure or AWS or even Informatica or any company, if anything, okay, even we created recently some performance issue, then so as a developer, we went to Snowflake admin, even they couldn't solve it. So based on the compute and everything, it is taking more time to execute. Then we couldn't reach that. We couldn't meet that SLA, service level agreement. Then we created vendor ticket. Then Snowflake support team, they came into picture. Then our Snowflake admin team and our developers. That is our developers and production support team. It's the same team only. Then all the three teams, whatever they were asking, so we provided all the information. Then they were suggesting, okay, so do this one to developers as well as developer. They suggested some query level. Okay, you remove this join, do this join condition. I think this join condition is going for some Cartesian product or something. Then for admin team also they suggested some improvement on the virtual warehouse. Okay, you choose this way, right? Then this is what the support they will give us. So vendor ticket we have to raise it. Then Snowflake team will the technical support team will come into picture. They will support us. They will support. And then we have the snow site, right? So normally, yes, we'll have the snow site and external functions. External functions we have and database replication. So we can replicate the data. So database replication, time travel up to 1 day. So please remember in standard edition, we cannot go 90 days. So we can go up to 1 day only. So 1 day only. So what is the maximum time travel we can use in standard edition? So 1 day. Okay. So what is the maximum time travel we can go for enterprise edition? It's a 90 days. 90 days. Okay. By default, it will take 1 day. So by default, even we are creating any table, right? So if we have dropped the table, but we have 24 hours to recover it. Okay. It it happened in our real-time project also. Some deployment they have deployed. So they tested, but anyhow, somehow they have missed it. It has truncated most of the tables in productions due to that query, right? The deployment. And then, so everything has been undropped it, so recovered it by using this time travel only in production. So then after that, they have come up with some lesson learning, all this RCA and everything. They put everything to this pre-deployment checks. So that normally will happen, right? But we can recover it here, 90 days. So what is the maximum time travel in enterprise edition? It's a 90 days. And what is the default one? It's a 1 day. So what is the maximum of time travel in standard edition? So 1 day. Okay. So 1 day. So disaster recovery for 7 days beyond time travel. So that is what we have the fail safe. Okay. So fail safe we have 7 days. So normal it will have 7 days, 7 days for all the editions. These are the options are available for standard level. Network policies. Normally network security policies, everything will be there for this one. Okay. So authentication, single sign on. Single sign on, it's nothing but okay. So instead of password, right? Username and password, you will have the single sign on here. So this is what we will have standard editions. Standard editions. Okay. These are the features. All the features it will enterprise editions will have. Okay. So all the standard features of these features will be available. In addition to that, we have multi-cluster warehouse. Okay. By using standard edition, so how many cluster we can create? We can create single cluster only. So single cluster means if you are running one query, the next query it will go to waiting state. So then once that query is completed, then only the other query will run. So that's what we will go for multi-cluster, single cluster. Here multi-cluster. Okay, multi-cluster. Then up to 90 days, right? Then so we can get some encryption. We'll get annual rekey. Rekey means for encryption, we'll have encrypted key, but we can change it. So next year we can change it. That is admin work. Then we'll have the materialized views. We'll have search optimization service. It's a serverless process. Okay. So what is serverless process? I will explain. A dynamic data masking. Okay, we can do the data masking. So that as well we'll see in detail. And we have the external data tokenization. It's nothing but encryptions when we are sending the data to outside. And column level security, we'll have column level security also here. And 24-hour early access to weekly new releases. Okay, so something Snowflake is going to release, then we'll get 24 hours early access to weekly. So these are the features are available in Enterprise Edition. So if somebody asks, or if you are getting some questions in this particular edition, right, you can explain them. And here we'll have all enterprise features, everything. Then business critical, so simply for higher data protection. So how we are going to protect the data? So this is what it's for data protection, security purpose. Okay, so HIPAA support, it's for PCI compliance. These are the compliance and security and policies we'll have. And customer managed encryption. So here Snowflake managed encryption, right? Snowflake will share us the encryption key, then it will be maintained by Snowflake. But here we can create our own encryption. Okay, customer managed encryption, that is the additional one we can handle it. And support for data specific regulations and database failover. So this is normally we'll have failback, disaster recovery here. In addition to the 7 days, we'll have more failover also here. So AWS private link support. So we can create some private cloud also. So here, and all the business critical features. In addition to that, isolated Snowflake environment. So this is Snowflake will have this AWS, Azure and everything, right? There we have Canada Central or this particular central. But here, Snowflake will create a dedicated separate AWS account for us. Okay, so AWS or GCP or Azure account for us. So they will create a Snowflake environment. And highest level of security and customer dedicated metastore. So all this we can have it in the this particular editions. So now, so if you ask me, so how many different editions we have? 4. And what are the different options we have? So main thing is time travel. Another one is a multi-cluster warehouse, right? Multi-cluster compute. And then another one is, right, materialized view. So we have here and encryption normally it will have. So here, if you ask me, so what is this multi-cluster warehouse, right? Multi-cluster warehouse. So if somebody is running the query here, the warehouse is running. Warehouse means it's a compute, right? It's a single cluster. If it is how many cluster we have, it's a single cluster. Standard edition means one cluster we have. Okay, so I have created in dev environment only one cluster. Then one query is coming to this particular compute. It's running. Then next query is coming, right? So it will go into the queue. Okay, it's a queue. Then another query is coming. Another one, it will go to the queue. Similarly, it will go to the queue. Once this is completed, then it will be executed. It will be executed. This is what it will go here. And what about this virtual warehouse? So you remember we have seen virtual warehouse, right? So what is this virtual warehouse here? We have different virtual warehouse. Okay, XS, medium, different virtual warehouse we have. I have three different virtual warehouse. So this warehouse, it's a single cluster warehouse. Can I create multi-cluster warehouse here? Yes, I can create. Then what about the size? Size is okay, it's not for running the query parallel. Okay, size is for example, here, if I'm running query with two tables joins, right? Two tables joins, then I can think, okay, its access is more than enough to run. So here I'm going to use 10 as 10 joins. If I'm going to use the same access, right? 10 table joins, then this will take some time. That's it. It will execute. It will take some time. If I'm thinking, okay, so this should be executed immediately in a faster way, then I can increase the size. Okay. So that's what we have. We can go for the capacity increase, but it's a single cluster only. If I created multi-cluster, then multiple queries will run in parallel. So multi-cluster is different and virtual warehouse size is different. So I hope you are clear now. So what is that, right?
I have opened four sessions in Snowflake. So can I run DML commands in all four sessions?
Yeah, you can run, but if you have selected single cluster, right, then
Mhm.
one by one it will be executed. Not all the four will be executed in parallel. Okay, so we will see that in detail in our performance tuning session, right? I will show you. I will run multiple queries. Okay, if the query is very small tables you are running, then it will take microseconds or milliseconds. So that even we couldn't realize that okay, it's running in sequential order. But when we are going for very big table, the table contains millions of data, then we could witness that okay, it's running in sequential order. I will show you. But
Okay.
if we create multi-cluster warehouse, then it will run parallel. All the four will run in parallel. Any operations,
Mm.
okay? It's not only DML or DDL. So any operations, select, okay, DRL, any operations you can run it.
One question. So materialized views is only available in enterprise edition, not in the other two higher editions?
No. So if you see this option, right, all enterprise features, right, it's
Mhm.
nothing but whatever we have seen here. So
Mhm.
everything it will be included in business critical.
Oh, okay. And other than that, we have these.
Yes, correct, exactly. And if you go to business VPS, right, then whatever we have seen so far, all these three, it will go to here. In addition to that, that's why we put a different color. I put here all standard features. In addition to that, these features. Then here all enterprise features. In addition to that, these features. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, actually.
Yeah. Yes, please go ahead.
So like we have the separate edition. So most of the which domains are like will be like suitable to which enterprise editions?
Domain in the sense business,
Not
sorry, banking
so
or
before
insurance or anything.
banking, yeah, like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
they will use for standard this one enterprise editions. If any government project or anything, right, more secure
Okay.
projects are there, then they will use this business critical. So they can create two different account also. The companies will create two different accounts. Some even on single project, right, we have two different accounts. So one is business critical, one is enterprise. Mostly they'll go for enterprise, but very few they will some data, very sensitive data they can handle it, right? So that they will handle it in the uh, business critical, but both account they will put it in one single web UI. So multiple accounts, they can do it. And so whoever is going to raise the access for that will get the access.
We can create within the one Snowflake account, we can create two enterprise editions.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
We can
Okay.
create it. We can add the account in the same
Okay.
organization.
Okay.
So that is admin part. We are not going to do it as a developer. They will
Yeah.
do it. So these are the options are available, right? So I will give you this particular site. So you can go ahead and then you can check. So what are the different options are available between all this editions. So then we have the different platforms and pricing. So two things we have to consider for the platforms as well as the this is the platform. Either it's a AWS or Azure or GCP. So how many different platforms we can choose? So we can choose 3 different platforms and regions. So based on this AWS, the regions will vary. If you choose Azure, so we cannot expect the same regions because it's a Microsoft. They do have the data center, right? So based on that, AWS, yes, they do have data center. Based on that, this will vary. So based on this platform and regions, the pricing will vary. Okay. So how many platforms you have? For example, if you take AWS, we have AWS. So here, and if I'm choosing this particular US, this one, then if I'm choosing the standard editions, then $2 per credit. So you remember per credit I have explained, right? So if we are running excess small, that extra small warehouses for 1 hour on this particular regions, AWS US East regions, then if you are in enterprise edition, then they will charge $3 per credit. If I'm running for 15 minutes or 15 minutes, they will charge around $0.75. Okay, so $0.75 they will charge it. It's based on this particular credits. So this is $3. And after that, if you see here, if it is business critical, they will charge $4. If it is VPS, we have to contact the Snowflake, the team. They will we have to talk to the sales team. They will tell us how much is the. So these are the computational cost. Okay, the computational cost. So in addition to that, we have additional cost also. We will see that. So how many different cost is available. So we'll see that one by one. So what is the edition we selected? We selected enterprise edition. Okay, so for enterprise edition, so what is the cost? We'll see that as well. I'll go to this, but both I will share it to you. I'll go to this one. So there are 3 different main categories for cost. Okay, so please remember how many different categories for cost. We have 3 different categories. One is compute resource. Okay, the one is compute resource here. So compute virtual warehouse. So warehouse here. Virtual warehouse. What is the size we are selecting? Based on that, it will cost. So what basis we have to select the size? It means if the query is running for longer time, then I can increase it, the size. Otherwise, you can choose very lower size itself. So that's what we have. We can go with the 3 main categories here we have. The total cost, aggregate of the cost of all this usage. Compute, right? Compute values. In compute also, we have 3 different costs. I'll show you. Then we have the storage. So we have seen three different layers. So what are the 3 different layers? So we have to remember. So one is storage, right? So here we have the storage here. So either you can use 3 different platforms here. Then next one is compute. It's a virtual warehouse here, right? It's a compute. Next one is cloud services. So cloud services is for authentication, and then it will use. So whenever we are entering into the Snow site, it will do the authentication, metadata, and everything. This cloud services will take care. Very less amount only it will take. So where the most amount it will be consumed, so the virtual warehouse. So virtual warehouse means when it will cost. So whenever we are running DDL, right? Creating a table and all this, and then DML, insert operation, update operation, any operations, mostly like a DRL. So DRL is nothing but data retrieval language, like select options, right? So whenever we are running the select and all this, it will take this virtual warehouse. Storage means, so how much data we are going to store, that it will take. So for example, it will be taken based on the terabytes. So what terabytes, we'll see that. So how much is the cost? It will vary. It will vary to different platform and then regions. So based on that, and then data transfer, from where to where we are transferring the data. So there are three different categories. So this one also they will ask in interview, as well as they will ask in the, the certification questions. So compute resource, so virtual warehouse, then storage, then data transfer. Okay. So now, so what is the compute warehouse? So computational cost. If you take computational cost, it's nothing but running a virtual warehouse to execute some queries. Okay. So running virtual warehouse to execute queries, transformations, unloading, some aggregations and everything. Unloading means like copy into, so copy command we are using, right? So copy command, and then Snowpipe we are using. All this, it will take this cost itself. Then in the compute itself, so we have seen three different costs. One is compute cost, another one is storage cost, another one is, so what are the three different categories we have? Storage, compute, and data transfer. Data transfer, it will take very less only. Storage also very less only. Computational cost only, it will take more. In computational also, we have three different major categories. So what is that? So one is virtual warehouse cost, computing. So who will manage that? User managed. Okay. So user managed. If I am the company, I am the user, I can go and create multiple virtual warehouses. Mostly in development regions, they will create the small size XS. Okay. So XS only they will create. It's based on the team they will allocate. Okay. So they will create one something like a service account. For that service account, SPN, we will call it as SPN. For that SPN service account, they will give this particular, okay, this particular project, these are the service account. So these are the virtual warehouse we can select. More than that, we cannot select. Okay. So that is what it will take. The user managed compute resource, who will handle it? Snowflake admin team. Snowflake admin team. So whenever we are going to use this compute, it will consume the credits, loading the data, that is copy into executing the queries, performing other DML operations, everything. So compute means this is what the compute. Okay, DML, DRL, DDL. So all this command, so whenever we are taking. And so how much is the utilization? Okay, so per second billing, per second. So minimum 60 seconds. So first they will calculate 60 seconds. Okay, that is 1 minute. After that, every seconds they will calculate. For example, if I'm running a query for 62 seconds, 60 seconds, then they will calculate 62 seconds only. If I'm running a query for 32 seconds, then they will calculate for 60 seconds, because minimum is 60, that is 1 minute. Okay, so even if the query is running 10 seconds, so how much they will calculate? For 60 seconds only, they will calculate. Then it will be, I will show you that calculation, everything. So warehouses are built, multiple queries will be running in parallel. So then if 10 seconds here, 10 seconds here, everything 60 seconds, they will calculate in that way. Okay. Warehouses are built only for that credits actually consume. If when they are actively working, if it is suspended state, then it will not be consumed. Then in addition to that, we have serverless compute. So what is serverless compute, right? For example, whenever we are running queries and everything, this is user managed, right? This is user managed. In addition to that, we have something like Snowpipe I'm going to create that will ingest the data continuously, something like automated way. Okay. So whenever I'm going for automated way, it's like in the backend, it is running search optimization. Yes, I'm not going to do it search optimization. It'll automatically do parallelly, right? In the backend, it will do. So whatever that we have backend process, it will not take our compute, virtual warehouse. It will take serverless compute. Serverless means Snowflake will have the compute. Snowflake company, right? Snowflake managed one. If you see this one, right? So Snowflake managed here. So Snowflake managed compute resources rather than virtual warehouses. To minimize the cost, these serverless compute resources automatically resized. Yes. So who will resize? Snowflake will resize. Okay. So Snowflake will resize automatically and they will go for this way. Okay. So this is what we'll go for. This particular automatically resize. This is very important here. And so cloud services. So we have another services called cloud services. Normally, cloud services means we have authentication, we have metadata management and access control. So you remember, right? The third, the stages layer we have. So that's what it will take. So you can refer this particular guide. So to check it. And warehouse size, definitely it will affect the cost. And auto suspend. Yeah. So definitely we have to go for suspend state. 3 minutes we can put, 5 minutes we can put. So if we are not running a query for 5 minutes or 3 minutes, so we can go ahead and then suspend it. Otherwise, it will calculate. Okay, so 3 minutes. If no one is going to use, if we put the suspend state is like a 30 minutes, then 30 minutes it will be calculated. Okay, so that's why we have to put on multi-cluster. This is also important here. So based on all these three, it will cost. Okay, so please remember in compute, what are the three different categories we have? Virtual warehouse, serverless compute, and cloud services. The cloud services, it will take very less amount only. And whenever we are going for authentication and metadata management, access control, everything, very less cost only it will take. Okay, so what is the serverless process, right? Serverless process we have seen. Serverless we have, it's a backend process. Okay, serverless compute. Snowpipe, materialized views, search optimization, replication and failover. So marketplace data access, all these are serverless compute. It will take the cost also. Okay, so we have seen already. So these are the different cost it will take. And as a developer, we are not going to work on this because everything will be the admin team. They will check all this every now and then. So what is whether this is the one question they will ask, okay, in interview also. Serverless and compute will run together? Yes. So compute is for, it's a user control, right? It's a start and stop, everything we can control it for running a queries. Okay, so interactive queries. So we can use virtual warehouse. The serverless compute, it's a Snowflake controls them automatically. It's a the warehouse here, virtual warehouse we will create like a excess, medium, small. In this way we will create it, right? But serverless, Snowflake will create it. Handles background and automation. So mostly like it will handle that. And if you see, I put the difference between the virtual warehouse and serverless. If you are running SQL queries, then it's a virtual warehouse. Okay, serverless process, it will not come into picture. If you are running a data loading, okay, I have some CSV file. I have to load that file into Snowflake. Then it's a data loading. It's called data loading and data unloading. So data loading means some files to, for example, I'm saying CSV to the Snowflake. This is called data loading. Okay, so we will use the copy command. We'll see that tomorrow. It's a copy command. We'll use that. Data unloading means from Snowflake to outside, like a CSV or some format. I can say CSV as of now, it's called unloading. This is also copy command only, but it's called unload. This is called loading. Data loading, data unloading. So if anybody asks in Snowflake, so what is data loading? So data loading means it's a file system. Okay, external files to Snowflake. We are copying the data. It's called copy command. Okay, data loading. Data unloading means we are taking the data from Snowflake to a file system. It's called data unloading. If you go to any project, right, they'll say data unload, data load, this process. Those terminologies, you have to be aware of that. Okay, data unloading, data loading, yes, it will take virtual warehouse. It's a serverless, no. Snowpipe is the data ingestion. automatically. It's nothing but, for example, Snowpipe means this data loading, unloading, I have to do it either manually or I have to schedule it. Okay, 7 a.m., 8 a.m., I have to schedule it. But Snowpipe is nothing but whenever some third party is placing the file here, Snowflake will automatically, it will ingest the file to this one, Snowflake, right? So this is called auto ingestion. As soon as file is available, it will be ingested. Okay, it's like a streaming. So we can say it's a streaming the load and it's automated process, right? So then serverless come into picture. Okay. And refresh materialized views. So materialized views, we have to refresh it, right? Yes. So that refresh we can perform optionally here, but automatically it will take, that's a serverless process, will automatically refresh it here. So that is the advantage in Snowflake. This materialized view refresh will automatically take care here. And task. So task is for orchestration. Orchestration, that means scheduling. Okay, I have some queries. I have to run this query by 7 a.m. in the morning or daily basis. I have to run it. Then I have to create a task. So task is for scheduling, scheduling the queries, scheduling the data loading, all this I can do. Procedures and everything I can schedule it. We will see that task in detail. So task, it's a manual task. We need a virtual warehouse. If it is a automated one, yes, it's a serverless task. We can create it. And UDF, user defined functions, stored procedure. If we execute manually, then it is a virtual warehouse will come into picture. If we configured like automated way, then it's a serverless process. So dynamic tables, it's an automated process. It means, have you seen SCDs, slowly changing dimensions, right? So if the source data is getting updated, normally what we will do, slowly changing dimensions in any other ETL. So if source data is getting updated or inserted or deleted, so we will run the batch process. Then here also we will insert, update, delete, right? In the Snowflake or any other database. But here we have one concept called dynamic tables in Snowflake. It means if we create a table in Snowflake as a dynamic table, then whenever somebody is inserting or updating a data here, it will automatically insert, update, delete in dynamic tables here in target. So whether we have to take the history and everything, that we can configure it. So no need to create any pipeline, ETL pipeline to do that ingestion. Okay, so that we have dynamic tables in Snowflake. It's an automated process. So that's why the serverless will come into picture. Okay, so both compute as well as serverless. So we can run it based on the use case. So which use case we'll go with this serverless process. I hope you are clear now. And storage cost. So any questions for this compute cost? Do you have any questions for this compute cost? So how the compute cost will be calculated, but I will show you the practical way. So how the cost will be, but you have to understand how many different cost is available. So we have compute cost, storage cost, and data transfer cost. Compute means whenever we are running the queries, running automated process, everything compute. Storage means so how much data we are storing on this underlying platform, right? Cloud platform. So that Snowflake will take care. We have to pay to Snowflake, not to AWS or Azure. Okay. Snowflake will take care, but they will charge it. How much they will charge it, we'll see that. Okay. You can go to this particular Snowflake pricing guide. So this particular document. Okay. So then you can go to this particular document. You can check. Okay. So storage, so virtual warehouse and compute the cloud services. So that's what we have seen, 3 different costs, right? Okay, so here, if you take virtual warehouse, that's what we have seen so far, right? A virtual warehouse is one or more compute clusters that enable customers to load data and perform queries. So queries means all the queries. So whenever you have some time, please go through that. You'll get clear details. Okay. In virtual warehouse credits, so we have 2 different credits models we have. So what are those 2 different models? We have standard model and another one is Snowpark optimized. Standard model means XS will take 1 credit per hour. Okay, so credit per hour, standard will take one credit, but standard we don't have Snowpark. Snowpark is for A and ML workloads we have, and if you take medium, then here it will take 4 credits, but in Snowpark optimized virtual warehouse will take 6, right? So you remember while we create, so this particular virtual warehouse here, so go to our Snow site, left hand side you can see the compute. So here we have warehouses, right? So if we are going to create virtual warehouse here, so here advanced options, so we can see that multi-cluster warehouse, query acceleration and everything, auto suspend, auto resumes and everything. So here we have the Snowpark optimized. Okay. So we have the standard, it's nothing but Gen 1. Gen 2, it's like a warehouse new hardware and software optimization. Most for most workloads that required more performance. If you need more performance, then go for Gen 2. So Gen 2 will cost more. And Snowpark optimization, again, it will go for so any memory intensive operations like A and ML operations, so it will take lot of resources. You can go for Snowpark optimized virtual warehouse. While creating the warehouse, so you can choose the warehouse size, type, auto resume automatically whenever we are running the queries. If it is suspended state, it will automatically resume, and 5 minutes inactive, it will go for suspended state. Multi-cluster warehouse here, right? Multi-cluster. So how many warehouses? We can go n number of warehouses. So based on that, it will take. And scaling policies we will have. Okay, so minimize queuing the workloads and everything we'll see in performance tuning. Query acceleration also. So it's nothing but serverless process. It will accelerate query performance by default. Acceleration, scaling factor and everything you can take from here. Okay, so for this particular excess, right, we have the size is excess 1 credit per hour. So if I'm choosing different editions here, then it's a 2 credits per hour. Then it's a 16 credits per hour for large. So this way the charge will vary. So that's why the Snowflake admin team, so they will check clearly here. Standard, Snowpark. So now we have standard Gen 1, standard Gen 2. So Gen 2, so little bit more than that, more than this. Okay. So cloud services. So cloud services means we have seen the authentication and everything, right? So that's what we have seen. And serverless features, it's nothing but Snowpipe, streaming, account replication, materialized automatic clustering, search optimization. These are the 5 different options for serverless features. That as well we have seen. Snowflake editions, we have 4 different editions. Standard, enterprise, you can see all these options, whatever we have given, right? VPS and everything. And go a little bit down. The next one is storage, right? Storage. So we have 2 different ways to buy the storage. So one is on demand. On demand means, for example, I do not know how much storage I'm going to take. Then I can go for on demand. So this month I'm going to spend, I'm going to take, okay, I'm going to take, this is the space I need this month. Okay. So then I can go for on demand. Then later, later I'm going to take more than this. So then I have to, it will automatically, it will take the cost. Then later I'm going to take more space, storage. Then it will calculate. This is one thing. But when compared to this, the another model, pre-purchased capacity, right? So it is nothing but, for example, on demand. So they will take some cost. For example, I'm selecting AWS Canada Central. Then this is the cost. It's a per terabyte. Okay. So terabyte. So $25 per terabytes per month. If I'm going to use 1 terabyte of data for this particular month, I have to pay for enterprise edition. So this is the cost price per Snowflake. This is compute cost, right? So 3.50. But how much I have to pay? $25 for this one. Okay. Will it vary for other regions? Yes, it will vary. If I'm in India, I'm going to choose this AWS Mumbai. So how much it will cost? You'll see that. Again, it's a 25. Is there any? But here the compute is very right. 3.30. You see here, it's a compute is again it's a different. So we are 3.30, right? So is there any other US region? Some regions will have some less cost also. Okay. Okay. Here $23 and here $3 only, right? So this way it will vary, but where we are available, we have to choose. So this is nothing but on demand. Okay. So how much we are, we are taking the data based on that it will calculate. So here it is called pre-purchased. For example, I purchased Google Drive storage. Okay, I purchased for 200 GB. Okay, or 1 TB. I purchased 200 GB. So this is nothing but it's a predefined capacity. I'll give them the guarantee that okay, I'm going to use this to 200 GB. I will pay for that, right? Every time. But still, I am not using this 200 GB. It means I'm using only 40 GB. 40 GB only I'm using. It means unnecessarily I'm paying for 160 GB every time, every month, right? But if I have chosen that, okay, on demand, 40 GB, they will charge 40 GB. 50 GB, they will charge 50 GB, but it will cost more than this one. For example, here, 200 GB, I'm going to use it. So that will cost, for example, I'm saying, okay, so 1,000 rupees here. But here, same 200 terabyte, I have given the pre-capacity, right? So here it will not 1,000 rupees. So here it will be 800 because upfront I'm giving them the guarantee that so I will take 200 GB always every month, right? So then it means I'm giving the guarantee that okay, always I will take 200 GB. I will pay for that. Even if less or higher, I will use it. So that they will go for okay 600 also 600 rupees. Every month you pay 600 rupees. You take up to 200 terabyte. Sorry, 200 GB. So here I'm not giving them the guarantee that okay how much I'm going to use it. So then they will charge okay 10 GB this much, 20 GB, 30 GB, 40 GB, then 200 GB it will cost around 1,000 rupees. So here 600 rupees. So that's a difference we have. So what is the two different policies we have? One is on demand. It means how much we are using, for that we have to pay. But here it's a pre-purchased capacity. If you ask me in real-time project, which one they will go for, they'll go for pre-purchased capacity because it's a lower price for long-term contract. So we have to put some contract. Okay, at least I will take, they will assess it, right? Okay, I have some 100 terabyte of data, 1,000 terabyte of data, 1 petabyte I have, right? So then they will go for, okay, so specific dollar commitment. So if I have a capacity purchase, some commitment, if I'm going to give them, then so this one is the pre-purchased capacity I can go for. So based on that, it will cost will vary. Okay. So how much minimum? We have the $25, $23 per terabyte, 1 TB. If I'm going to use 1,000 terabyte, that is nothing but 1 petabyte we are going to use, 1,024 terabyte, then how much cost per month the company will pay, right? So that's what you will have. Data transfer. Okay, so I'm in AWS US. So I want to data transfer on the same regions, then nothing, zero, right? Same region, if you see, everything is zero, zero only. If any other regions, we want to transfer the data per terabyte, so this is the cost. So you can see that the cost, same cloud providers, different regions. Here, same cloud providers, same regions. Okay, so here, different cloud providers, data transfer. We are AWS to another one, Azure or anything. So you can go and check here, AWS, Azure, and GCP. So GCP we have 4 different data center only, right? 5 different data centers, and so Azure we have more data centers, and AWS we have more than that. Okay, so these are the data centers we have, and you can when you have some time you can go through that. Okay, and some example they have given. if you go to the pricing examples, one particular company, they're using standard service, and they are in the United States, and 4 terabytes of compressed data. They're going to use it compressed. After compressing, what is that? Okay. So compare with 20 terabyte without compression. So without compression is 20 terabyte, but with compression is 4 terabyte. They have to pay for 4 terabyte only. So runs a batch loading task every night for 2.5 hours using a small standard virtual warehouse. It is not excess, it's a small standard. So small means 2 credits per hour, right? And 2.5 hours they are running per day. 2.5 into 2. So we have to put here 2 credits, 2.5 hours per day, 31 days. So what is the cost here? You'll get, this is the cost, 155. Okay. So $155 they have to pay for that. Simply if they are running 2.5 hours per day, out of 24 hours, they're going to use this particular warehouse for 2.5 hours. Okay, maybe it's a single cluster warehouse. So that also it will cost vary. The cost will vary. And here the same one, user requirement. It's a data loading requirement, user requirement, 8 users. Then 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., 10 hours they're using. Then this is what the credit required per month. They'll calculate this way. So 800 plus 155, it's a 955 credits. So this is what credit for users, and this is for data loading, and 4 terabyte cost. 1 terabyte is $23, right? 4 into 23, it will cost around this much for 12 months, 1 year, per year. So per year, they have to pay this much. It's very, very minimum, I can say. But in real time companies, right, they are paying like $1 million, not even $1 million, more than that. Okay. If you take some 65 terabytes only after compression, before compression, how much is the data? Somehow you can see here. Okay, 325 terabytes without compression. Then there is, if a Snowflake is compressing, it will come around $65. Sorry, 65 terabytes, 24 cross 7. And you can check something. Okay, here, and 2 credits per 24 hours, 31 days. This is the cost, and totally this is the cost per year. Per year, this is the $118K, right? I can say it's a minimum only. So companies will pay more than that because they are not going to use 25 terabyte. More than that, they will use it. For small sales industries, yes, they have to spend at least, this is the amount. Okay, it's based on the usage. Pay for it. They put only 5 users, but in real time project we will have more number of users, right? 12 users, 1 users. So more number of users will be there. Based on that, it will calculate the cost. Okay. So when I have given you this particular document link, just to go through that, you'll get clear idea how they will calculate. Okay, this one. So this is what the computational cost and storage cost. So build per terabyte per month. Okay. Active storage, it's nothing but data in tables. Staging. So we'll say it's a file is called staging. Internal stage. Internal stage means Snowflake will handle that, it will store the files. And external staging means AWS, GCP, Azure will hold that file. Okay. For that, we have to pay to Azure or AWS or GCP, not to Snowflake. Okay. Then we have the fail safe, time travel. For this also, it will take some cost. And cloning. So cloning, here we have one feature in Snowflake. Cloning means we are not copying the table, we are just cloning it. One storage, but it will be cloned multiple times. That is what we'll have the cloning. But after cloning, if we are changing the cloned table, anything we are updating, then separate partition will be created. Okay. For that only it will be charged because it is going to create micro partitions. They will take the charges from here. Charges for storing structured, semi-structured, and unstructured data. for the current rate, which varies depending on your type of account, capacity, or on demand. That we have seen, right? And regions, whether it's different regions we have, and this is what we have seen so far. Then data transfer cost, data transfer. So how we are transferring data from one region to another regions, so within the same regions, whether we are using the Snowflake reader account. So based on that, it will vary the cost. Okay, data transferring it. Snowflake data transfer cost. Okay, so when the data transfer is free, if we are locally using that, it's a completely free. Okay, when it is cost, when they are going to charge it, when Snowflake sends data outside the local regions or cloud, then the charges will be applied. Okay, cross region data transfer, yes, it is charged. Okay, cross cloud data transfer. Cross region means from I'm in Canada central region, so I'm going to send the data to another region. So then it's a cost. Cloud transfer, cross cloud, it means AWS to Azure. I'm going to send the data, right? It means I do have organization, then I'm going to send the data to somebody else, data transfer, then it will be charged. So outbound to external client. External client, I'm going to send the data, download to Power BI desktop or S3 or Databricks, all this, right? So everything it will be cost. Data sharing, consumer end. Reader account in another regions also, they will be charged. So how the charges will be applied? So here you can see that you extract data to external storage or app. Yes, you have to pay it. Okay, account owner. You have shared it, they're going to use it, then consumer will pay for that. And if you are using reader account, then both of us it's a free. Okay, so compute reading data stored inside the same Snowflake regions, then it's completely free. Internal queries, joins, transformations free, and data stored accessed within the same regions or cloud, it's a free. We are not going to do the data. So one account to another account, if I'm sharing, sorry, we are at sales department, I'm going to send the data to finance department. Then, so it is not a data transfer cost. Within the same region, I'm going to send it, right? They will not charge it. These are the cost we have, and based on the regions, the cost will vary, right? Different editions. When we are selecting, the cost will vary here. And so this is what we have seen, right? So how much the cost we are going to take, and pricing guide. So how the cost will be. So we have the pricing guide we have taken, and let me take this one, right? Yes, we have. I put the link here. I'll go to this. So if you see here, so how the cost will be vary. AWS. So here, so $3 per credit US dollars. Okay. So AWS US East. So then AWS itself, I'm going to check some Asia Pacific, Mumbai. Again, it's a $3 only. Okay. Canada Central, it's a 3.50. 3.50 in AWS they will take. Some other regions, right? So it's a 4.65. So if I'm going to take some other regions, it will cost more also. So it's based on the regions and how per credit. Okay. So how much we are running based on it will vary. I have selected Azure. Then I'll go to India. Okay. So Pune location. Then it's a $3 per credit. It will vary. But in GCP, we don't have in India. We don't have the regions. Only we have these regions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regions we have. Middle East they have, but I think it will cost more. 4.90 we have, right? So we have, this is the regions we have. Mostly this US regions will have very less cost when compared to other regions. So AWS US also, Oregon we have, different regions we have. So based on that, it will vary. Singapore, right? So this is the minimum cost we have. And if you select standard, this is the cost per credit. Okay, so you can check it here. And this is the on-demand storage. So we have on-demand pre-owned capacity, prepaid capacity. So that's a different. On-demand, we are paying that $23 per terabyte per month in this particular AWS US East regions. So you can check from here. in this particular page, and yeah, it will vary. Okay, so I have given this link also here, so you can check it here. I got some questions. So why is Snowflake not charging cost based on security of data they give? So because the security, they are going to do that auto sec this one. They're going to make auto compression as well as the secure one, AES 128-bit, I think. They will use a security, right? Encryption, automatic encryption. They're not going to do that specifically for that because it's included. So that's why they are not going to charge it separately. So who is responsible for selecting and managing the additions and cost? Developer or admin? Admin. Okay. So admin. So first time when they are going to do the POC, for example, in our company also, first they did 6-month POCs. They created 2 different accounts, AWS and then Azure. Okay, we'll call it as AZ CA, ASCA regions, and AWS CA regions we have. And so they took some 6 month, they put some data, and they have taken, okay, so we are running the queries here. So how much data it is taking, how much cost it is taking. We have some data in Oracle Exadata. So for this particular volume, this is what the cost it is going to be there for next 1 year. They'll compare Snowflake, Azure, or any other platforms like AWS, any other platform. So based on that, they took the decisions. Okay, I can go for AWS Canada regions. So this is the cost I'm going to pay. Okay, that they have to communicate to the VPs, and they have to get the 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 budgeting. Okay, in real time we pay in $1 million. Is it more or less cost as compared to on-prem? Yes, it's a good question, because so I have interacted with Snowflake admin team. So one of the lead in admin team, like architect admin we have. So he himself said that, okay, when compared to on-prem cost, the Snowflake cost or Databricks cost is more. Okay, but the features what they are getting, it's a performance-wise and everything is good. And since if they are not going to migrate to cloud, then they are not going to get all the advanced features, right? So they are not going to enable the system modernization. So that's why they forced to move this one. But when compared to on-prem, they are paying more only. Okay, more only they are paying, but they will not reveal how much they are paying. But so I have inquired them that they said that, okay, it's more only. Okay, so this is some sample calculator I have given here. You can go ahead and then you can check it here. Just go to this one. Okay, go to this particular calculator. You can choose the warehouse size. It's a small excess or anything. So if you are using Gen 2 or Snowpark, I think he did not include it here. It's a one person has created this calculator. And AWS or Azure or GCP, it's a how much time we are running the queries. 660, if I'm running for 10 hours, 600, right? So enter cost per credit, so 3, and hourly or daily or weekly. I'm running, then total $40 for this 10 hours, right? It's a 10 hours, 600 minutes. Yes, correct. It's a 10 hours. Then I have to go here for, this is the amount I have to pay for year per year. Okay, it's a simple calculation, but it will vary. It's only for computation, not for other cost. We have 3 different cost: computation, data transfer, and we have the storage. 3 different cost we have. I have given 2 different calculator. So please go ahead and then check this calculator. You can use this calculations. You can check it here. It's more calculation we have. So we can select more regions here. And so what is the data transfer type and everything, how much you are going to transfer it, fail safe, time travel, right? So how many days you are going to use it, storage and everything. If you put, it will calculate here. So total monthly cost, right? So you can check it here. So how much the company will pay for that? The company is going to have 1 petabyte of data, then how much they are going to pay, right? So you can check it per month, per year, all this. So I will take these queries Okay, these queries here, these are the queries. You can run it in your account. Just go here. I will go to my Snowflake. I'll go to worksheet here. So I will take this particular database, this particular schema, and this is the compute warehouse I'm selecting. I'll put the queries here. Okay. So what is this query, right? This query will use this particular warehouse metering history. It's a table we have. So this particular table, whenever we are running a query, right? This particular query will take all these. So for example, if I'm the company, so I'm thinking that, okay, the cost for this month is very high. So how this much cost I got it, right? So then Snowflake for every user, every query, whatever we are running, they will put an entry in this particular table. Okay, what is the table here? Snowflake. So what is the database here? If you see database, it's a Snowflake, right? It's a, we have one database. The Snowflake dot account usage. If you go here, we'll have one table called, sorry, one schema called account usage. In that you can see warehouse metering history. It's one views we'll have. Okay, account usage. So all are like metadata tables only. Everything, whenever we are running a queries, it will make an entry here. So when you have some time, just to go through this. So if I'm going to run this, so as of now, so how much I have used? $400 credits they will give, right? $390, sorry, $290 I have already used. 290. So how I have used? You can check here. Okay, so how much credits? So each and every queries, if I'm running, right? So all these queries. So start time, end time, which warehouse ID? Each warehouse will have ID. Okay, which warehouse ID? Notebook, which I where from where I have executed. Which warehouse name, right? Notebook, and then credit used. So how much credit has it has been one credit? No, it's a point 0.02, 0.17, like this, right? Then credit used compute. So this is the cost we have. Both are same only. Compute one it will use, and then here credit used cloud services. Whether it has used cloud services. When we will use the cloud services, authentication, metadata, all this, right? So we'll go for the cloud services one. So it has to add both. It means I'm going to run a query. It will check metadata, something is there or not. Then whether this particular user has access to this particular table. Those are, it will come into cloud services cost, computational cost. And then do we have anything like other cost? So total cost here we have. This is for query cost only, not a storage cost. Okay. Then how much total credits I have consumed? I will run it this query. I'm just summing up all this credit used, that columns. Then 82.82 I have used. Then it is my Canada Central region, right? So what is the cost for Canada Central regions? You see here where I have account, it's a Canada Central, right? So what is the cost here? Canada Central, yes, here. AWS only I have Canada Central. So what is the cost here? Enterprise, it's a 3.50. So I will use 3.50 here, right? 2 decimal point, I'm just summing up, that is rounding up. And I'm going to just run it. How much credit I have used totally? 289. 289. Sorry, this is the total credit I have used, right? Total credit used and total cost 3.50 into 3.50, 289. It means they have given $400 minus 289.87. Then how much it will be? You can see that $110 it's there, right? Approximately. It's not 110. So because we have 87 here, so we can put it's almost it's a 290. Then we have $110 remaining. So everything they will calculate here and completely. It's again it's a storage also they will calculate. So everything, because I think I haven't used storage much here, so that's why storage cost is not there. Okay, because storage cost I haven't used here, only for query usage only. So here we have storage cost also very less cost they might have calculated. It's a monthly cost. So you can go to this. So admin, cost management, you can see here. So how much we have used so far. Okay, so all this you can check here. So computational cost here, 3.50 compute price per credit. And this is the data we have. At date range, we can select it last 12 months, last 3 months, or 6 months, and everything can choose 289 and 83 credits we have used, and one credit is this much, and this is what. So computational warehouse cost, and this is something like a Streamlit we have just executed. So EDL, this is I think it's another warehouse we have. Snowflake learning. So this is what the warehouse cost, and other cost also it will be calculated here, and everything you can see here. Okay, account overview. So if you check here, that is the query I have given to you, right? So that query also you can calculate all the cost. So this is what cost and pricing will be different. Okay. So I got one more question. As a Snowflake developer, we perform unit testing during which we run a lot of queries, right? Yes, definitely. Will the organization or admin ask us to question about why we are executed so many operations? So they will not ask us. So what they will use, even in our real-time project, we have both the we have Databricks as well as we have Snowflake environment. So both we have dev environment, but we are not going to use, we are not at all using dev environment. So everything we will directly run it in the UAT and production. This is what we are doing it. Okay, so directly we'll do. In even if you are in banking environment, very secure and everything should be tested and everything, right? Then they will put the warehouse size is size is excess only. You cannot select more than that. And data volume also they will put less. So you cannot test actual data in dev or QA. They will put less data only. Any number of time you can run it, but they will put very less data. So, but that cost the company has to take care, because uh, sometimes they will say like, okay, it's admin, if they are going to take more amount, right? We have one team, separate team, cost optimization team itself. So they will recommend a lot of different mails they used to send. Okay, optimization, this is what developer has to do. So they will send one mail every week, one mail, or every now and then. So how they have a separate team, how we can optimize the prices, right? Some teams are working already. They will optimize it. They will put, okay, less data on dev environment. So if even if we are going for multi-cluster, right, they'll go for not more clusters. So that way they will restrict. But in production, they will not restrict anything. They will give all the access. Okay, so just I will summarize it. So what are the what are the 4 different editions we have? So we have 4 different editions. One is standard edition, enterprise edition, business critical, and virtual private Snowflake. So which edition we will use in our real-time project? Enterprise edition. Some project they'll use business critical also. It's very rare if they are going to use some encryptions, right? So they'll go for, okay, if I have selected enterprise edition later, can I move to any other editions? Yes, I can do. If I have selected AWS edition, can I move to Azure? We can move, but that will cost more. That will take time also. It's a data migration. Okay, so we cannot just simply we cannot change we cannot change the platforms and regions. Okay, so I have given the comparison, and we have so if you take enterprise, so what are different features are available in enterprise? They will ask in interview, right? So what is the time travel for standard time travel for enterprise? Default time travel is 1 day. How many days we can go? 90 days. We will see in detail. We have the practical session. I'll show you. There you can calculate, you can see that. And what is fail safe? Even after 90 days, we can go to maximum 7 days fail safe. So that we can take, but Snowflake support is needed for here. Okay. In storage, we have 2 different storage, on demand and prepaid capacity. So that we have, and the 3 different cost it will take. So one is compute, storage, and data transfer cost, right? 3 different cost. Compute also we have virtual warehouse cost. So it's a user managed compute resource, serverless cost, everything is a Snowflake managed one, and cloud services authentication. That also we have seen in our queries also, right? So that's what. So factors affecting cost, warehouse size, auto suspend resume, and concurrency. It's nothing but multi-cluster, right? So these are the serverless cost and everything we have seen, storage cost, data transfer cost, and different editions, platform and regions. Based on that, the cost per credit will vary. This is per credit. Okay, so based on the size, the credits will vary. Okay, excess, what is the credits? Excess. So we have seen in our last session, right? So excess, this is what the virtual warehouse credits. So I explained here. So excess, we have one credit, small, 2 credits, medium, 4 credits. Okay, if 1 credit is $3, then we can take, okay, so what is the cost here, right? And 2 credits, so what is the cost here? So that way you can take so this calculation. I will send you some exercise here for this, the pricing model and everything. So please complete that exercise. The assignment 1, I will send you this one. So it's a create one practice warehouse in Snowsite with this, and practice warehouse 2 with this, practice warehouse 3. So you can drop it. So I have given the steps here. You just to do it. Okay, this one. And second exercise also I will give it to you. You have to calculate here. Okay, so this is the one I'm going to give you, cost calculations. So please try to complete this questions. Why I'm giving this question, right? So you will understand what are the different costs is available. So how the cost will be calculated. In real-time project, as a developer, we are not going to calculate these things, but as a developer for the certification, yes, they will ask these type of questions. Okay, I hope you are clear about all these editions and everything, right? So from tomorrow onwards, you will see that Snowflake, the copy data loading, unloading, everything you'll see. Tomorrow will be a practical session on this Snowflake. So please complete these exercises. It will be very easy only. Try to create the warehouses today, and you will see that. Okay, data loading we will see tomorrow.